Hey, Tone, how's AJ? I spoke to him. He said he was a little down for a little bit, but now he's positive. He's back. He's in a good mind frame.
Well, when you leave cannabis alone and you deal with your real life issues, then you fix those problems. I ain't heard nobody tell me cannabis cures something. It comforts, it masks, but it doesn't cure. And when you're a high-level athlete and you can move left, right, left in drops of a second, and you do that, it slows you down. Remember, in the beginning, he said, I'm going to finish everybody in the first round. That was non-cannabis. The second fight, he didn't want to fight. He literally told me, I don't even want to fight. Well, I already knew what he was doing. This fight, he's been TH free, and I've had to hire people now to come in. That's how crazy it is. This fight, he's going to finish this guy. There is no way he does not get a finish. He's just dangerous everywhere he's at. Standing, ground, top, bottom. You got to train with 20 different guys to get what you're going to get out of this one fight. And you got to be in there for 15 minutes?
Someone watching this would kind of scratch their head and say, like, no way, Tone. There's no way that THC or weed could affect fighters that much when you have so many fighters advocating for it.
Okay, let me tell you what these fighters that are advocating, half of them are uneducated in marijuana. I study this shit every day. This is a real simple one. Look, go get high, prick your blood, put it under the microscope, look at what your cells are doing, okay? If you know what cells are doing, cells' main objective is to survive, to create, to survive. They want to survive. Look at the pattern and the pace that they're moving at. Then take some time off, come in 2-3 days later, don't smoke, train, prick your finger, put your blood under a microscope, and look at what your cells are doing. You tell me how that shit's going to help you. Anybody that wants to talk to me about how marijuana is going to make you better athlete, talk to me. Talk to me, because you're a dumbass and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm not going to put fighters on blast. I know a lot of fighters that smoke. So this is what people will say. Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt. Let me explain something.
Diaz brothers.
Diaz brothers. How many championships have they hold? Nothing bad about them. But if that's what you choose to do, don't expect to have fast twitch muscles. Now, you do have some fighters that smoke a pound of weed that are over the top ADHD. Right? And I ain't going to put them out there. But let me tell you something. They ain't won a title yet. They're still trying. Versus a guy that dedicates himself to his craft. Most people are shooting peptides and PDs and TRT to be faster, stronger. The first thing weed does is it slows down recovery. You're tired from a hard day's training. You go home and smoke a blunt and think you're going to be recovered the next day? No. You're not going to be fully recovered. Your body does not recover when you're on cannabis. Doctors will tell you after surgery, do not consume cannabis products because it slows down your recovery. If you have cancer, it slows down the cancer cells, so stay high. We're talking about athletes that are trying to perform at the maximum output. How is it helping you? Common sense.
When you look at the weight now that he's at 155, do you see him much more energetic, much more happier that he's not cutting? He kind of alluded that he wants to stay at 155 now.
Look, cutting weight, he did not like it. But we all know that cutting weight is a discipline. It's a discipline of not only the sport, but it's a lifestyle of discipline. And he wanted to do other things than have that discipline. But I tell you what, put $1 million on the line, and all of a sudden, discipline plays a role in him fighting. There's no marijuana. He knocked everybody on the first round, like he said, and it was easy. He got what he accomplished. He's going to do what he wants to do because he's a gifted athlete. He's been training since he was a baby. Look at Mason. Mason McKee has been training. He knows arm bars, triangles. He's a complete fighter, and he's only 5 years old. He can smoke as much weed as he wants. He's still going to have the skill set. He's just not going to be able to be explosive as explosive. He's not going to be able to as fast, connecting here, muscle, mind, memory, instinct. It's not going to flow the same. So I encourage all athletes, wait till you're done from training, fighting, and then go and smoke all the weed you want.
What would you advise then they're struggling to recover?
Then recover the right way. You get ice baths, you go do therapy, you get massages, you do yoga, and take time off. Take time off. What's wrong with that? But these guys are improperly training and beating the shit out of each other every day in a gym thinking they're getting better. No, they're not getting better. They're actually hurting themselves. So when they go out to fight, they've got a bruised rib, a concussion, a tweaked elbow. My guys go out to fight and they're 100% because of the way we train. And there's a reason the best fighters in the world have came and trained with me, because I have a different outlook on it, especially the older fighters. They want the science. They want the knowledge behind what I've spent 30 years plus learning and educating myself daily on different athletes and different bodies.
AJ, good to catch up with you. This is it's kind of funny because, I'm interviewing you now when I spent years and years interviewing your dad. First off, man, I just want to just get a sense of like how you've been since the last loss, the fight against Pitbull.
I've been good, man. Just revamping, like I said, faster, stronger, bigger, better. Took a little mental toll on me being a perfectionist and everything. Took a couple weeks, bounced back, probably about a month, honestly. But yeah, just staying in the gym, man, fighting through it. You know what I mean? One day at a time, just getting better, better, better until you get your mind right. And then came a point you just realize, man, a record ain't nothing to me no more. I'm still undefeated in life. That's something that no one can take from me. And yeah, obviously, I don't feel I lost that fight. I think he knows he lost that fight. That's why he don't want to fight me again. But we'll see.
That first week, like, can you explain like what emotions you were going through?
The first week, I didn't really have emotions. It hadn't really settled in. The second week, I actually the following week I went to Hawaii and supported Cyborg. She had her fight, so that was just kind of like, all right, cool, and then like it was cool being at the arena and whatnot. But that second week when I got home, that's when it kind of kicked in. I had to sit at home, just literally sat at home, didn't do anything, and was just depressed, man. One thought after another, just mental breakdown, literally mental breakdown. Like it's crazy, the games the mind will play on you, but just being a perfectionist, man. My dad's got OCD. I walk in the house, I turn pictures sideways to mess with him. So it's like that rubbed off on me. And then me getting my first taste of my own medicine, it's like, oh, shit, it really hurt. You know what I mean? But this is the bounce back, man. Like I said, faster, stronger, bigger, better. That was the whole mindset I just had to keep focusing on.
What do you feel contributed to you bouncing back with that mindset and being positive and not letting it get to you? Like, what was the single most thing that you think helped you through that?
I would say faith, man. I still know in my heart I'm the best fighter in the world at 145 or 55 pounds, pound for pound. I'm a mixed martial artist, A lot of these guys are just one-dimensional. They either got the striking, they got the jiu-jitsu, or they got the wrestling. They don't have the mix of them at all. Like, I'm good on the ground. I'm good at standing up. I'm good at boxing. I'm good wherever you put me, I'm going to survive.
What did your dad tell you about everything that happened?
Directly after the fight, he was a little upset as well. He doesn't feel I lost. The statistics don't say I lost. It was just kind of, he was like, man, just he told me it was a message from the man upstairs, which I kind of believe because there were some things in my life I needed to adjust. And, yeah, it was just being able to self-reflect, look myself in the mirror, no pointing the fingers at anybody else. At the end of the day, I always say I would have loved to have lost at my expense, but it was my expense during those 5 rounds. Just don't play it safe next time. I knew how to win, and that's what I knew I was going into that fight to do, was just to win.
Your dad mentioned that it was like a message from the man upstairs, and you even kind of alluded you're getting a little crazy.
Stop smoking weed. No.
But like, how so? Elaborate a little bit. How
he just
that, or?
Nah, not really, man. That was a fight. Like, he says yeah, it's because of the weed, but I can genuinely sit back and say that there is a difference between like my striking when I'm not smoking and when I am smoking. My mitt work's just a bit crisper. Mine's a little bit sharper. But being a fighter, man, I'm still always going to have that dog in me, you know what I mean? And that's just the thing about myself. Like, it's always going to be that kill or be killed. But after the tournament, you know what I mean? Like, I just lost. I was bored. 4 for 4 all finishes. I said it. I did it. And then, all right, cool. I'm in the middle of snowboarding season. Y'all want me to be excited to go cut 20, 30 pounds? Fuck no. Trying to enjoy the slopes and shred some pow. So, yeah, it's just little things, A lot of people don't see what goes into fighters' lives on the backsides. And that was a big part, you know.
Like a little like mental fatigue in a way too, right?
Mental fatigue, yeah. I mean, like I said, the weight cut is always my thing, the 145 pounds. Once I make weight, the fight's over. What are you going to do? Literally, Pitbull walked out the cage, beat up, cut open, split open. I walked out with a little cut, and that was from him poking me in the eye. I'm fine with that. I walked out ready to fight again. We could have fought another 5 rounds. I don't think he wanted to fight another 5 rounds, and that's why he's fighting other people instead of giving me and honoring me with my rematch.
So I guess with that, like, where do you want to go from here? You thinking or maybe leaning towards like he ain't going to give you a rematch unless it's like really forced on him to give you one?
I think if he beats Borks, he's going to retire. Honestly, that's my honest opinion. That's unfinished business for me, though. I'm 1-1 because my record is flawed. Like I said, it's a Chael Sonnen quote. It's my favorite quote right now. Possession is 9/10 of a law in this country. I will always have the true world championship belt with his name on it and every other belt. Every belt that man has is a fake belt. Yeah, it's a Bellator belt, but guess what? It's not a true tournament belt. It doesn't show who the true pound-for-pound champ is at 145 pounds. And like I said, I'm willing to put that belt back on the line, but you need to man up and step up to the plate.
What do you think could entice him to do that, or do you just think, like from what you said, it's just he just doesn't want the fight?
I mean, well, you get knocked out in 2 minutes and then you get beat up for 5 5s. I know factually I won 3 of the 5 rounds because that was the intent that I went in there with, was win at least round 1, 4, and 5. And that's literally what I felt I won, was 1, 4, and 5. 2 was close, could have went either way. 3 I'd give to him because he held onto my neck for his dear life the entire round. But, I mean, man, let's run it back, bro. Unfinished business. I got more statements to make. That's just how I feel. I can't wait to see him at the press conference. I'm going to have my strap.
Speaking of you, I'm not privy to the details, but do you have a date yet for your return set?
October 1st. Spike Carlisle. Spike. We just call him Spike. We're going to call him Spike. Spike, yeah, 155-pound pro debut for myself. Yeah, he's the man. If it was up to me, I wanted his brother, Patricio, but he was already, I guess, in the midst of speaking to fight Usman. So, yeah, maybe Usman will be the next champ. I think he's going to end up beating Patricio. That's my own personal opinion because, I mean, once again, he gifted his brother the belt. So, yeah, I think Usman's going to take it, and then see what happens from there. But if it was up to me, I've had some interest in a couple banger fights. Benson's been a big favorite of mine since I was a kid, man.
You grew up watching him. Yeah.
Yeah, my point. So, like, I just love his style. It's very, like, drunken monkey, unorthodox. I kind of got a lot of the similar styles. His jiu-jitsu's on point as well. So I think that would just be a very entertaining fight. Whom else? That's about it, honestly. And then I want Patricio.
You gonna stay at 55, like, or are you gonna see like how this goes? I'm sure you're happy you're not cutting.
I got a feeling I'm gonna end up staying here. 27, you know what I mean? I'm stepping into my prime, so I think I'm gonna keep putting on a little bit more weight, and unless it honestly all just depends, man. If Pitbull steps up to the plate, I go back down. Borks always said he wanted to fight me, so if he goes out there and proves himself as a champion and beats Pitbull, I wouldn't mind stepping back down there to fight him. Yeah, he always said he wanted to fight me. This is like 2-3 years ago, so yeah, I'd honor him with that. You know, step back down there. I can't wait for the press conference. I'm gonna talk some big smack, boy. I cannot wait.